Hey everyone, welcome to Recess with Moms. I'm Sonia, a teacher and a mom, just trying to juggle it all without spilling my coffee.
And I'm Sydney, also a teacher, also a mom, and also constantly losing my teeth somewhere. We're so excited to have you here with us for our second episode.
In this podcast, we dive into everything from parenthood and teacher life to balancing all the chaos in between. We'll share the highs, the lows, and plenty of laughs along the way. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or just in need of a good laugh, this is a place for you.
Today's episode is about finding joy. So grab some snacks, a drink of your choice, and let's get into it. Can we talk about how rough last week was? I know that the week before Thanksgiving is always rough, but this was a different type of rough. This was rough.
Yes. Where do I get started? How about all the stuff we try to fit into 1 week? The turkeys, the parade, the Christmas. Triggered! The Christmas hallway that I love oh so much that I'm very excited for. That's just the beginning.
Honestly, I mean, the communication of it all is really what stressed me out. We talked about this. Mm-hmm. I love Christmas. You love Christmas. Mm-hmm. We love spreading the joy. We love the ho, ho, ho and the 'tis the season. But what I don't like is the lack of communication.
Yeah, the last minute stuff.
Yes.
And, I will say, I think everybody involved, like in any school, in any district, teachers, admin, everyone has good intentions.
Yes, they
do. It's coming from a good place. We want to give all the students all the experiences. But sometimes we try to just fit everything into 1 week, and it's just impossible sometimes. No, it's not impossible. We just lose ourselves in the process. But yeah, that could have been handled a little better.
I agree. And again, yes, it was like, it's not to make anyone stressed out. And we know that, obviously. We know it's for the kids. And we're willing to do that for the kids. But also, we're having a hard time trying to do last minute things when we have so much already going on at home that we've got to do. And finding the time to squeeze in that literally was sucking the joy of Christmas from me. Which actually, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cried about. I was really sad.
Yeah, because we all got to the point where we were all so stressed out we weren't even enjoying like the decorating and the feast and yeah, it was just a rude awakening to kind of just realize like I'm being a Grinch. I don't want to be the Grinch, but it's also hard to plan all these things out when there's just not enough time. And luckily the kids really did have a great time. At the end of it all, we all did have a great time, but it takes hours of planning for something that takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Other events take 30 minutes. Yeah. It's like you have to kind of gauge, is it worth all this effort and time, evenings even, for these little events? So
I agree. For some context for people who don't know what we're talking about, the week of Thanksgiving, we tried to have some cute things for our students, and it was like doing a balloon parade and doing like a Thanksgiving feast. But then on top of that, getting told that we're having to decorate our hallway for Christmas by a certain amount of time. Yeah. And that time is like the day we get back from break.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit stressful.
And not to talk negative, we're not trying to talk negative about any of our coworkers, because they're all really amazing.
They're amazing.
And we can agree, like, everyone has really good intentions.
Yes.
I think it's just lack of, like, planning or like the excitement kind of gets the best of us. It's like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. It's like, yes, but can we think about how much effort and time it will take during the school day? Even it takes away instructional time, honestly, because a lot of us get so desperate that we don't want to stay after school. So we do it during class time. Like, I mean, don't fire.
Guilty.
Yeah, like
guilty. So, don't fire us.
Yes.
It was very stressful, and like I said, sucked my joy out, and I really had to evaluate myself, and I came to talk to you a couple of times about, like, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to be sad about something that I really love. And I'm glad, because that was one part that helped me find that joy back, was you venting to you, talking to you about it, and having that person that supports me and knows me and tries and knows I'm not trying to just be rude about it.
Yeah, no. And like, I think that's what really like what we ended up getting out of the end of the week. And that's the sad part. Like, it came at the very end, literally the Friday before break. But we kind of just realized that we could still make these really stressful moments enjoyable. So we had to really look for the joy in these things. Why are we doing this? Which brings us to the things that we have to do, that we purposely have to do, and try really hard to find the joy in the midst of all the chaos of being a teacher, being a mom, being a wife. You know, that was just during school hours.
Yes.
I can't imagine when you got home. Poor hubby.
I know.
Poor my hubby.
Yeah, I was about to say yours too, having to spend extra time.
Yeah, because all of that trickles down to everything, to our families. So I want to know, what are some things that we did to find joy in the midst of all that chaos?
Okay. Well, you obviously know how much I love music. My whole family is a big music household, and that's a huge thing. And more of like, it's going to sound weird, but like, I need it for like spirituality wise. So as soon as I vented to you, I locked myself off in my room and I put my Grace playlist on, which is all like worship music, because I needed to ground myself.
You needed Jesus.
I did, like severely. And you knew that because I was over there all feisty and huffy puffy, because I was literally melting down because I thought, how much can you guys pull from me right now in this minute? And again, like, not meaning to come off ill will. It's just in that moment I was having a little mini meltdown, I guess.
Well, it's hard to understand. Like, in the middle of the day, not only are we having to plan all these events, but we're also responsible for instruction still.
Yes.
So we get 45 minutes of conference, if that, when we're not trying to have a restroom break or get copies and stuff like that. So I think that's the part that makes it very stressful. It's like, these huge events are so much fun, but they require more than 30 minutes a day. They require hours and hours. And I think that's the part that really, I was becoming a Grinch, was because I didn't feel like my time was being respected.
Yes.
I didn't like things being added on my list when I already had like a huge list that I think was very important, but I felt like I had to put that on top of my list because it needs to get done.
The time limit.
Yes, the time limit. Yeah, that's the part for me, like my type A side. It's like, I need the proper amount of time and I can be type B too. Like, I can go with the flow, but just, you know, the math wasn't mathing. I needed more time. So something that I do to that kind of brings the joy back is obviously like seeing the faces of my students. Like, you know, we had, you know, one meeting where I kind of expressed my concern about the planning and stuff, but then I go and pick up my students from specials, and I see their faces and I realize, like, this may be like that one big event that they will get to experience. Not that they're not loved by family and whatnot, but there's special events that we put together that they will only experience at school. So that's kind of what it brings me. I guess it's like having empathy for them and putting myself in their shoes and kind of remembering when I was little. Like, I remember the really cool events in my school. I did not realize how much work these poor teachers were, you know. But so that's something that helps me, like, find the joy back. It's like, yes, this is stressful, but it'll be worth it because we saw all those smiles.
Yeah, and I think that's why I was putting so much pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Because we have a space where we're at right now where these kids don't get that experience.
Yeah.
And it's not because parents don't want to. They just can't. And, yeah, I totally feel that. And that's why I put on Christmas music in the hallway, because I'm like, I got to snap out of this.
Yeah, well, it was, so just for context, what is it, a Thursday?
Yes.
It was Thursday. 5 o'clock. We have one day left till Thanksgiving break. And the whole team stayed after school to decorate these hallways. And Sydney over here came down the hallway with our AP's giant karaoke speaker. And she blasted Christmas music. And it did help a bunch. It really did, because I mean, and me and one of our coworkers was down the hallway, and we're just like, I can't believe I'm doing this after school. This freaking tape just ran out. Let me go get more. Like, we're so upset. And then she blasts music. I'm like, okay, fine. Like, so yeah, like, that's the sort of thing, like, you really have to be intentional and, like, put your energy in the right places, because if not, then it's so easy to be just negative.
And honestly, I think what helped too for me, and finding, like, all of that happiness back and feeling like this is worth it, was my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, she, if you guys don't know, she is actually in my class. I am blessed to have her in school with me, and she is in kindergarten. This is her first year. And what really, really solidified that this was okay, like, not okay to do, but fun to do, was seeing her face as I was putting things up.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can't be the one like being responsible for ripping that magic of kindergarten.
Yeah.
That pressure is unreal.
Yeah.
So that helped me, like that in my family, because then my youngest came up with my husband to help set up after school and help us with all the decorations, and they were just so wow, so beautiful, you know, like it was so cute. And that, I don't know, it was a weird family time, but it was family time.
But at that point, you're making memories with your family,
Yes.
and at the same time, you're investing into your students.
Yes.
And I will say, like, I do love that for you, and I feel like I'm finally there where my daughters are old enough to go up to the school, and it's not such a hassle. Girl, a year ago, 2 years ago, there's no way. So I would have dreaded this week even more, because then I know I can't take my daughters, so now I have to figure something out. Like, so I'm glad for that. And I guess that, like, you know, the empathy part, like, I feel bad for other teachers that don't have that luxury. Like, a lot of them have newborns. A lot of them have. So it's that kind of thing that I kind of struggle with, that still honestly makes me feel frustrated sometimes. But back to finding the joy.
Yes. I agree.
Back to finding the joy. Something that helped me was really just praying and kind of like being in isolation. I think a lot of times we hear like other people's voices and we hear all these ideas and stuff. And I like basically like going to my bedroom and literally getting under the blanket. Like, I'll tell my husband, hey, I need to be alone. I need to process all these feelings that I had from today, and he gives me time to just be like, yes, go. And that kind of helps me clear my mind and kind of see things for what they are, because I think a lot of times, even like with that, like last week, I'm just thinking about myself. Like, it's me, and that's not the point. Like, the point is, it's the students, it's the children, it's these families, it's those smiles. And that's why we're teachers.
Yeah.
Like, I love what we do. It's a struggle where you really have to be intentional, again, to find that joy in these really stressful weeks during the holidays. So,
but I agree with the isolation. I need that. I think we're overstimulated all the time. We have kids around us, not only kids, we have coworkers all the time that are asking questions, and it's nothing bad. It's just we're overstimulated. How are we supposed to readjust and find our joy when we don't have a minute? Yeah. And then we get home and we still are overstimulated. Yeah. So I love that we can find that space and that we have amazing husbands to like give us that space, because I know not everyone is like that, but I think isolation is a big one for me. Yeah,
you have to, maybe it's like the introvert in us where we socialize all day long with our students, with adults, that we just have to like be alone and just stop for a second. I think another thing. I'm the Grinch.
Let's get it.
I don't know if this is gonna be I'm gonna end up having to delete all this because it's not very joyous.
Oh, you know what? It takes us a minute to get there.
Something that brings me joy is saying no.
You know what?
Like,
setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries. That's what I saw. Yes.
It's setting boundaries.
It's setting boundaries, because it's like, we just can't do everything. Like, and that brings me back to when I opened that email about the, like, you know, the village.
Yes.
I was so excited that morning because I was getting to the end of my list with that test that we were making. I was so excited. I'm like, yes, like finally I don't have to repeat my to-do list. And then I open up my inbox and it says that we're creating a village. I'm like, wow, this sounds really fun. I was legit excited, wow. And then it says when we're having to stay and then the due date. It was just not enough time. And I was just like, I remember just like squeezing that mouth, like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, so anyway.
Let me add on to that. And again, let me say, we know it comes from a great place. But when you tell me that we are required but not required to stay after school on certain dates, let's talk about the rebel in me. Because, no. No.
I know.
We don't have the time.
Well, then it's hard to set boundaries too, because then I see like you staying or another teammate staying. Well, then how am I not going to stay? Like one of those days. I had to call my husband and be like, look, I know this wasn't planned. Luckily, the girls are done with their soccer season. Luckily, we didn't sign them up for basketball. Because I really was going to be completely unavailable. But then I see my teammates staying after school, so I can't help it. And literally Friday, wasn't it Friday we stayed?
Thursday. It was Thursday.
Maybe this episode is not about joy. Maybe it's just about venting.
No, but we did find joy in those because you know what?
We did.
The pressure, I wish I would have like been more open. This is my bad. I wish I would have been more open to you about like the immense pressure I felt, because as a lead, I feel like if nobody else gets it done, I have to. Yeah, I don't have a choice. Like that's where I felt. That's where like all the tears were coming from, and all of this thing, like this. All of this was coming from
that's a lot
was
more
because
pressure.
of the fact that I felt like you're the lead, not just the lead. You're the lead of kindergarten. Yeah. That's the magic. Right
I know.
there.
It's like we have to go. And
that is so like it was really crippling, and you were my joy.
Yeah.
I know, like I vented to you and stuff like that, but you were because you were my safe space. I could vent to you. You knew that it wasn't going to be like I knew it wasn't going out into the universe.
Yeah,
and people were going to be out there.
Well, now it is.
Well, I mean, now it is, and that's fine. But I mean, at that moment where I was really truly frustrated and not happy and not myself and was sounding like really negative, I was really grateful that you were willing to listen to me, but also know that that's not my character.
It's not. And I don't think it's our character at all.
It isn't.
That's why I struggle with it so much, and that's why it's so hard to find joy in it. It's like, I know I'm not this negative person, but come on. Like, someone's got to say no. Like, I'm glad, look, there's a reason God didn't make me a team lead. Because I would have responded to that email. And look, the person that sent the email, we love. Like, I love her. So if she happens to listen to this, I love all the people. We love all the people at our campus.
Yeah, we do. They're great people.
But we're just doing a little too much sometimes. Like, we got to chill. Like, if the kids also, we are trying to give them the best time of their lives, but they also don't know any different if one event did not happen. Does that make sense?
Or
like,
come up with these ideas and give us a better timeline.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Like communication. Yeah. That's the part that is super hard. You know where I find joy? Communication. You talk to me, I talk to you. Yeah. We can schedule this out. Like, I am type A. You know that. Yeah, I don't have a type B bone in my body.
You really don't.
I really don't. I wish I did. I envy people who do, but I just don't. And that's a big thing for me. I am happy when someone's talking to me, tells me things. I literally went to her room that day and said, I need somebody to tell me what to do. Did I not?
Yes, you did.
I walked in there.
I'm like in the middle of testing one of my kids.
I was like apologizing. I'm sorry. I'm like, don't fire me. Because I know I probably shouldn't have gone in there. But at that moment, for my sanity, I needed someone to tell me what to do. And I probably looked psycho.
No, you didn't.
I need you to tell me what to do. No, you didn't.
I was confused at first, like, what? And then I was like, oh, okay. I get that. Sometimes, I don't know, girl, we might be a little ADHD. Like,
teaching made us
have
ADHD.
But, no, I mean, I have the same struggles, too, sometimes, where I'm just like, and I have my to-do list. I already have it numbered in priority. I know exactly what's next.
Yep.
And then it's planning time, and I'm just like,
yep.
Which one do I do? Well, I have 20 minutes left. I'm not going to finish that if I start that one. So let me go ahead and go to number 4, but that's not the first one on my priority list. So here I am literally arguing with myself. Like, it is a lot. Teaching is hard. I think that's the point here. And to find joy, you really have to just try.
Yes, you do.
It is not just going to come at you. It's not. And
it's not natural. It really isn't.
It's not natural. And it's not natural to try to do so much. Yeah.
Setting boundaries.
Yeah,
is
just
important.
setting boundaries, but it's just hard when we did not get an opportunity to set the boundary. I think that's also what really, really like irks me is when things are just you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. It's like with what time? Like, so
as if we don't have children.
Yeah. Yes, and that's yeah. So I don't know. We have to try really hard to find joy.
Yeah.
Honestly. And it's really like, I mean, besides all year, but it's really, really during this time where it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we're just trying to do all the things. And I feel like especially for kindergarten, because we are kindergarten and we want to have all the fun and all the cute gifts for the parents and the painted hand and the painted, not the feet.
All the magic.
I'm not smiling those smelly feet.
But all that magic.
All the magic, the holiday magic. And also, too, I think something that gives me joy is kind of just like realizing where we are in our career. This is your first time being in kindergarten in a while.
A long time.
In a long time. This is my first year doing kindergarten and bilingual. I mean, I've taught, I've been all over the place, like grade-wise. But I feel like it's my first year all over again. So I think that's the struggle, too. It's like we have our own things that we're going through as a teacher, and then all these things get piled on. Now, let me be in kindergarten for 5 years, 10 years, even 3 years. Then maybe I wouldn't have been so thrown off by all of this.
I agree.
And maybe that's why those other teachers are more, like, relaxed. It's like, well, I'm not learning this curriculum. I've already been doing 4th grade for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. And maybe that's why they continue. Again, empathy. Trying to understand the people that are planning these things. Maybe those people have been teaching their grade for such a long time that adding this to their plate is nothing.
It doesn't seem like anything.
Yes,
yeah,
but to other people, it is a lot. I mean, people are pregnant. People are,
coming back down. Like being in 1st grade, I still am trying to readjust my brain.
Being a team lead. That comes with other stressors. So I think that's just it. I mean, it's kind of hard for them to gauge it anyway. Like, it's hard. Like, they're not going to please everyone. And I think that's what truly is how I find my joy is just I know that those people planning it, they're not being malicious. No. They have zero bad intentions. But we also need each other to vent to each other and to be real with each other. So I guess that's another way.
Because of our tribe.
Yes, yes.
It's important. It is. That's, kind of what our first episode was, our tribe. I need that, too, for my joy, my sanity, honestly. And you know what? This is going to bug me, so I need to point out that my kids were at library time when I went to her classroom. I did not abandon my kids, okay? I did not abandon them.
I saw him sitting down in the hallway doing work. You just left them out there all by themselves.
No. They were in the library, and our librarian's a rock star. She is willing to give us a bathroom break, all that stuff break if we need it. She's really like, helps. I got you. Go do what you need to do. And great. What I needed to do was get my brain straight. So I ran over there. So no, I did not leave my classroom unattended. Okay, that was going to bother me for the whole time. I'm going
to edit that out.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to delete it so the video looks like you never said it.
Please don't fire me.
And then I'm just going to add the part where I said, no, I saw them in the hallway. That's the end of episode 2. Sydney, tell me 3 things you're grateful for this week.
Okay, I had to really think about this one because I didn't want to copy the ones that you said.
Okay.
So, I'm going to say the first thing that I'm thankful for is my mom. She is an angel. I love her. She's a huge support system for me and always willing to be there and help me in any way. Love her. Super grateful. Second thing is my brothers. They used to be a pain in my butt, but my twin, we had this big thing happen to me this past weekend and like the excitement of everything. And I cried because my brothers were so proud of me and they were so happy for me. Like, what?
Really?
They were happy for me. And both of them told me like, nobody deserves it more than you. And I literally cried. Like, they're never that sweet, but they're that sweet this week. So,
yeah.
I'll send them a gratefulness right
week,
there.
A whole other story. But
probably.
Today, thank you.
Probably. And then I think the third one that I'm grateful for is my family. Like, I know there's a lot going on personally with everybody, but we're all still alive right now, and we're all still kicking, and we got to spend a lot of time with each other, and I'm really grateful for that. So,
sweet.
What are the things I'm grateful for?
Wow, that's deep.
Thanks. Got you.
Thank you so much for tuning into Recess with Moms. We appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen to us.
Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or someone looking for laughs and real life stories, we are so grateful to have you here with us.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, and share our podcast with anyone who might appreciate real parenthood and teaching life stories.
Please feel free to connect with us on social media. We'd love to hear your stories or any topics you'd like us to cover in the future. Our social media info will be linked.
Until next recess!